and that he still actually lives at Hank's house. Because Hank is going on to say, oh, Johnny does not live with me, I do not help Johnny anymore, I'm not associated with him anymore. Apparently that's not true.
Yeah. I know he was pressured by Hank's family to be a part of this case.
They need a legal guardian, right?
Yes.
He's been to the immigration offices many times with me. So if I do go on the run or go jump the DMZ, jump the border, and disappear, this is actually my he's my official legal guardian in Korea.
So I'm legally defending Johnny, kind of.
You know, how much have you personally spent thus far?
Including
legal fee, everything.
Close to it.
Close to $20,000.
Hankyoo is in serious trouble right now. You might be wondering, why is Hank in trouble when this should actually be the time Johnny Somali is facing consequences after losing his third trial? Well, here's why. Hankyoo lied about Johnny Somali's location and spread false claims before the trial. Later, he ended up confronting Johnny Somali in court, even though he had previously said he wouldn't get involved in the case. Because of that, Hank is now facing massive backlash from South Koreans. Many people believe he indirectly helped Johnny Somali and turned the whole situation into a false drama. Now, Hank's situation is getting even worse. What was supposed to be Johnny Somali's downfall has suddenly turned into Hankyoo's biggest mistake, and his reputation is crashing fast. Let's break it down in this video. As many of you know, Hankyoo has lied about Johnny Somali before. He claimed he didn't want to get involved in Johnny's trial and said he wasn't worried about Somali's safety.
I cannot even involve myself in Johnny's trial. Like, I'm not so out of his safety. I never said that I approve of everything that Johnny does.
At first, some people were glad to see Johnny Somali's downfall happening that way. But like I've said before, this was really Hankyoo's strategy from the start. He wanted to twist the story, stir up more drama, and manipulate everyone watching. Later on, even Atozi came forward and talked about how Hankyoo had lied and then confronted Johnny Somali in court. That moment exposed everything and showed just how messy this whole situation has become.
A quote-unquote student, and that he still actually lives at Hank's house. So that's interesting because Hank is going on to say, oh, Johnny does not live with me, I do not help Johnny anymore, I'm not associated with him anymore. Apparently that's not true.
Everyone already knows Hankyoo is just as shady as Johnny Somali. And right now he's showing how far his disgusting, almost demonic plan can go, trying to manipulate everyone around him. But it doesn't end there. Atozi even revealed that Hankyoo pressured Johnny Somali's own lawyer into moving forward with a defense, even though the lawyer wasn't ready and didn't want to take the case to trial at that point. This shows just how far Hank's manipulation goes. He's not only lying to the public, but also twisting the legal side of things just to stay in control.
Stirred, definitely out of his depth. I kind of feel bad for him.
Yeah.
I know he was pressured by Hank's family to be a part of this case, and I think he's trying to do his best to balance between Johnny and...
This is exactly the kind of shady person Hankyoo is. Anything could happen with him. But one thing is certain. You can't trust Hankyoo. He's a liar, just like Johnny Somali. What he says and what he does never line up. And now more and more people are realizing that he's only making the situation worse. And honestly, it's disgusting. Just look at some of the comments people are leaving about Hankyoo. One person said the interview Hank did actually caused more damage to him than anything else before. And I agree 100% that Johnny and Hank have committed crimes on their own live streams multiple times. Another person said Hank's body language clearly showed he was lying when asked about Somali's whereabouts. And again, I agree. Someone else said Hank is going to face massive backlash very soon, and it's going to be brutal. And plenty of people are straight up saying Hank and Johnny are both pure evil. And honestly, I can't argue with that. That's the truth. People are now heavily criticizing Hankyoo for what he did. And if you look closely, even in the video right after Johnny's court hearing, when a streamer tried to ask something about Johnny Somali, Hankyoo refused to answer, almost acting like he was Johnny Somali's protector.
Yo, Johnny! Johnny, quick interview? No, I guess they don't want to. Johnny!
But remember, this is the same Hank who once said he wasn't responsible for Johnny Somali's safety.
I'm not so out of his safety.
Now people aren't confused anymore. It's clear that as long as Hank is standing beside Johnny, Johnny feels like he can keep doing whatever he wants. And Hank's support just makes the whole situation worse. And did Hank stop there? Of course not. Hankyoo is the kind of person who can take any situation and make it even more dangerous. Remember, he openly admitted that he wanted to go after Legal Mindset and others who criticized him. He literally said on camera that he'd do it just for money, nothing else.
Is it true that you were trying to sue others for their free speech? Like, were you trying to sue Legal Mindset? Somebody told me you were trying to sue him?
For defamation, yeah. Well, I'm not criminally charging him. Money!
Wait, so your free speech...
But if I can extract money out of him, yeah, hell yeah, nigga. But.
So you admit that Legal Mindset, that guy has the right to say everything he says, but you see an opportunity to try and get some money, so you're like, fuck it, you know, I need money or whatever.
Yeah, I mean, like...
This just shows what kind of shady person Hankyoo really is. He spent $20,000 on Johnny Somali and ended up losing all that money for him.
You know, how much have you personally spent thus far?
Including...
legal fee, everything.
Close to it.
Close to $20,000.
So what's Hank gonna do now? Obviously, he's gonna try and make that money back by running even more shady schemes. But here's the thing. Legal Mindset has already clapped back and completely shut him down. He made it clear that if Hank even tries something like this again, he's going to face serious legal consequences. At that point, Hank's so-called defamation case won't even be taken seriously. It'll just look like a complete joke.
Hank confirms he desires to sue for defamation, but I want to be very clear with you guys and very honest. It's not just me. I would love to make this about, it's not just me. He wants to sue Atozi. He wants to sue 15 Minutes. He wants to sue all the Korean streamers. The judge is going to hear that. Literally, anybody who he sues can take that clip that's a public video and can play that for the judge, and the judge would just laugh at him.
I don't know if the judge will just laugh or not, but I guarantee the judge can make some consequences for Hankyoo if it was actually done by him, because what Hank did before was beyond worse. So guys, at this point, I want to make another important point. Remember, Hankyoo said he didn't approve of what Johnny Somali did in South Korea.
I never said that I approve of everything that Johnny does.
Okay, for a second, I'll agree with you. You didn't approve Johnny Somali's actions, but here's the question. You confronted Johnny Somali during his crimes, right? What about that? Why aren't you admitting that you were involved with him? Why didn't you stop Johnny Somali from committing these acts? Instead, you encouraged him and only put all the blame on him afterward. Is that fair? Of course not. That's just selfish. You burned through $20,000. And for what? Maybe you were using Johnny Somali for your own gain. I think you already know what I mean. And it's not just me saying this. Johnny Somali himself confirmed it. He said Hankyoo was his main advisor, his so-called guardian in South Korea, handling his legal matters and overseeing nearly everything he did. Even Johnny's YouTube channel, and a lot of the shady stuff tied to it, was set up under Hankyoo's name and ID. Anyone can verify this because it came straight from Johnny Somali's own mouth.
Designated legal guardian, right?
Yes.
He's been to the immigration offices many times with me. So if I do go on the run or go jump the DMZ, jump the border, and disappear, this is actually my legal, he's my official legal guardian in Korea.
So I'm legally defending Johnny, kind of. So I guess I'm Jewish too.
I made a new YouTube and I put in Hank's name, you know what I mean? So technically it's Hank's channel, right? I'm gonna just name it Johnny Jewish. So how are they gonna ban me? It's Hank's channel.
Yeah. So think about that. Was Johnny Somali really acting alone? No way. Hankyoo played a huge role in setting things up. And when it all went south, he tried to wash his hands and act like he had nothing to do with it. And let's not forget, Hankyoo has already said he plans to leave for China in 2026, right around the time Johnny Somali is expected to still be in prison. It's obvious Hank used Johnny. Maybe Johnny also tried to use Hank for his own strategy. Who knows? But one thing is clear. They both manipulated situations. They both committed shady acts, and they both should face the consequences.